Hi, New York City middle school students. Maurice Frumkin, NYC Admissions Solutions. And we're here in our continuing series to bring you through the high school admissions process, step by step, week by week, over the course of the year. And this is particularly for 8th graders going through the high school admissions process, but also for you 6th and 7th grade families out there who are starting to think about it, and it's not too early, believe me. So what I'd like to do today is take you through 3 simple steps that I want you to start thinking about as you go back to school, and that are going to really help you formulate your plans as you go into the high school admissions season this coming school year. So you might want to jot down some notes. Get out a paper and some paper and a pen. Step number 1, if you haven't done this already, and I'm going to assume that you're sort of starting from scratch like a lot of families are, and don't worry about that. But if you haven't gotten your publications, the important publications from the New York City Department of Education, go out and get them before school starts. And I'm talking about, number 1, the high school directory, the big high school directory that you've probably seen. If you didn't get one from your school yet, you can go to any New York City Borough Enrollment Office. You can go to the Department of Education website and find out where those offices are and pick up a copy of that directory, as well as the Specialized High Schools Student Handbook. You're going to want to get your hands on a copy of this to take a look at everything related to the 9 specialized high schools in New York City and how to apply to them. So that's number 1, is getting a hold of those publications and putting yourself in a position where you at least have your basic tools and can start doing your research over the next few months. Number 2 is I want you to undertake a self-assessment, a self-evaluation about yourself before you start to make those choices and think about actually filling out your application. The hard part is really doing a self-assessment and thinking about what schools ultimately might be a good fit for you, what your skills are, what your talents are, what types of schools might be a good fit, whether it's a large school, a small school, a school that's around the block from you, a school that's in a different part of the city, a school that focuses on a particular theme, whether it's science or business or math or sports. And really start to think about yourself, what you're good at, and where you think you might be comfortable when it comes to traveling to a school every single day for high school. So that's number 2. And number 3 is a more sort of logistical kind of thing, but I want you, if you haven't already, to get a calendar. If you don't have some way of calendarizing everything that you're going to have to think about over the next several months and even over the next year as you're going through this process, you're going to need a system. And the basis of that system is a calendar, whether it's electronic, paper, doesn't matter. As long as you're comfortable with it, you're going to want to keep track of all the events that are coming up and that you're going to have to be aware of over the next several months. And that could be Department of Education events. That could be school open houses and school interviews. That could be just events that you want to participate in and that you need to keep track of, because organization, I can tell you, is a huge factor that's going to help determine how successful you are throughout the course of this process. So again, 3 things going into school, assuming you've done nothing else to get yourself ready for this daunting high school admissions process this year. 3 things. Number 1, you're going to want to get your hands on the publications if you don't already. And if you do have them already, I want you to go through them again before school starts and at least get comfortable with how they're organized, the content, and how they can help you. Number 2, a self-assessment, a self-evaluation, and really looking at yourself. And don't be bashful. Please brag about yourself and feel good about yourself and the things you've accomplished, but really start to think about what you're good at, what your areas of development might be, what your skills are and your talents are, and start to think about the types of schools that might be a good fit for you. For you, not for anybody else. And number 3, a calendar. You want that tool, that basic tool, as a calendar to form sort of the core tool of all of the tools and things that you're going to use to help you out throughout the course of this process. So those are the 3 steps going back into school. We'll be back next week with some more tips. Stay with us throughout the course of this year. Tell your friends. We're going to be here every week with these tips. And we hope this is helpful for you. Maurice Frumkin, NYC Admissions Solutions. School can be overwhelming. School choice doesn't have to be. Take care. I'll see you soon.